Welcome to this episode of our program Daily Debate. This is the first debate since the beginning of this year. We hope this year would be filled with more hope for a better future. We'll be speaking today about many of the presidential initiatives that took place during the past year and the years before and culminated in what we are seeing today in many areas. First, we'll be speaking about the Decent Life because it's the most important initiative that has been named by the United Nations as an initiative that covers lots of aspects. It's an initiative of the century. Decent Life is an initiative endorsed by the President and with the main objective of improving the quality of lives of people in urban areas and in villages and many rural communities. This initiative is carried out within the framework of the Sustainable Development Strategy, Egypt's Vision 2030. It is an initiative that really is included within or goes with the framework of the Egyptian Vision for 2030 for Sustainable Development. It aims at decreasing multi-dimensional poverty and unemployment rates. It covers more than 60 million people. Since its launching earlier in 2019, about 103 billion pounds were spent through the initiative on 600 projects located across 377 villages at 11 governorates. Those are the sectors of healthcare, education, infrastructure, sports, culture, and, of course, creating job opportunities. The head of the Central Administration of Decent Life Initiative, Ala Gad Al-Karim, stated in September that the development of 1,413 rural villages out of targeted 4,500 will be accomplished by June 30th, 2022, and that the upgrade of the entire Egyptian countryside will be completed by June 30, 2024. Assistant to the Minister of Planning for Sustainable Development, Gamil Helmi, unveiled in May that 89% of the budget disbursed within the first phase of Decent Life Initiative was directed to Upper Egypt. We've seen last week, which was dedicated to Upper Egypt. So as 334 out of 375 villages received about 8.5 billion pounds. Then the official added that 94% of the beneficiary of the phase live in Upper Egypt. We'll be speaking about this initiative in particular and the presidential initiatives at large that took place during the 7 past years, and we'll be speaking with Mrs. Asma Adel, head of the Social Committee of the Arab Union for Sustainable Social Development. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And our discussion, let's come back for more discussion. Back to Mrs. Asma Adel, head of the Social Committee of the Arab Union for Sustainable Social Development. Again, thank you for being with us.
Done by really, I admire all the follow-up and I admire all the great ideas to give all the Egyptians a very secure and a very rich life with all the abilities that they can have.
Yeah. We have a leadership who is very much persistent to us. Let me start with our topic of today, and let me speak about the presidential initiatives.
Yeah.
Let's focus first on Decent Life and how you view such an initiative that started already since 2019.
Yes, I think it is the core of the human concept. Provide people the better lives they dream of. It's something like give them all the rights they should have. And I think that President is doing great follow-up to achieve this. Thanks God. And
the initiative itself.
Yeah.
We're speaking about an initiative that covers around 6 million people.
And it will cost a lot, really. It will cost around $30 billion. Yeah, but it needs a lot of sharing from the community, from all the individuals that can help. We really need to spend more time thinking about how to share and how to help the community and how to help the president and the government to achieve the idea itself. Yeah.
Right. Before we continue on, let me have with Merv, the former head of the National Council for Women, and the former UN Assistant Secretary General and former Minister of Social Solidarity. And good evening to you, Ambassador Talawi. Hello. Hello. Right, until we take Ambassador Mervat Talawi again, let me here continue with you. And we're speaking about, yes, indeed, this is an initiative that will cost the country lots and lots of money. However,
but it will have an impact on the economy, of course. Provide young people for youth, providing better education for children. This is, it's a very long vision for the future, inshallah, and it will have a great economy investment, inshallah, yeah.
How do you think this initiative is changing the lives of rural, urban, and, let me say, more needy communities?
Yes, I think we've always been dreaming of a suitable house, a suitable education, a nice system of health care. All of this is coming true now. It's now we can live the dream. I think so.
Again, let me here take Ambassador Mervat Talawi. Let me here again welcome the former head of the National Council of Women, the former UN Assistant Secretary General, the former Minister of Social Solidarity. Good evening to you, Ambassador Mervat Talawi. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes? Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for being with us over the phone, and let me salute you as one of the first women diplomats of Egypt. Dr. Talawi, Your Excellency, here we're speaking about the presidential initiatives that are taking place.
I can't hear you.
I'll try to raise my voice as much as I can. Again, we're speaking about the presidential initiatives that are taking place and that were adopted by the government, and how they reflect on the Egyptian societies and economy.
You see, if you are talking about renovation of the villages, this is one of the most important projects that President Sisi ever made. It aims at changing the life of almost half, if not more, 68% of the population who are living in the village. In human conditions like the slums, and you forget the whole set of the second convention. That's why I introduced the right to development, that we, the people, should enjoy the summary of this development that would raise the standard of living of the people. And this is what we should pursue with the European and some of the NGOs in Europe and the West in general, that they only insist on freedom of thought and they forget all the other rights in the social and economic condition. Although the political opinion will come when the person is living in a human condition, in a clean place, all his requirement is there. So he will think then after that of the freedom of opinion. But if he's hungry, if he's miserable in the housing where he lives, he will never think of liberty of thinking.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Ambassador Mirvat Tillawi, former head of the National Council for Women, former UN Assistant Secretary General, and former Minister of Social Solidarity. Thank you so much for being with us over the phone tonight. Before we move on with our discussion, let's first have a very quick short break and we'll come back.
اني بساهم ولو بحاجه بسيطه في مبادره حياه كريمه.
الحكايه في مصر فكر.
And I'm so proud to present this or tonight's episode about this very important initiative, which was described by the UN as one of the best social programs worldwide to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Again, back to you, Miss Asma, and we were speaking about the Social Life Initiative and how it covers lots and lots of sectors and segments in the societies, particularly the urban and rural areas. And let me here speak about the partners who are part of this huge initiative.
Yes. The initiative is the true meaning of the sustainable development. It means, you know, it's not only a title. It means that future generations, and our union is helping and dreaming to support more this initiative, and we did had a great share in Minya and in Aswan. To help the government with the spreading of, some plants and some, raw materials to help and to train some of the families over there to have better life. And this is, we are dreaming to have, to improve our share, inshallah, in the coming future.
Yes, but of course, and hopefully you do, and the President has encouraged the private sector, the NGOs ahead of this. Well, I'm also speaking about the international partners, because as we've seen here, this initiative was described by a world body like the UN as the best social program worldwide. That has been very much culminated during the week of the presidential inauguration of several projects that took place in Upper Egypt. For instance, many international partners are also taking place. So how do you view?
I think the whole world is expecting more from Egypt, and they are watching our progress. And they are.
No, I'm not speaking about watching. In fact, they are partners.
They are partners.
So how do you view such partnership, and how do you view how Egypt is collaborating with those big entities?
Not only giving a good idea of how to provide this achievement, but supporting our point of view of creating better life for the humans and for the Egyptian people. It's a very good share of the international overview in our future point of view.
Right. I guess we have over the phone Dr. Wala Salah, Professor of Human Resources Development. Good evening to you. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good evening,
Hi, good
Dr. Wala.
evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
New Year to you.
A happy new year to you and all your beloved, of course, and we're happy to have you over the phone.
I'm sorry, but can you raise your voice a little bit?
Okay. So we're speaking tonight about the presidential initiatives that have been taking place and adopted by the government. We're speaking particularly today about the decent life, which covers more than 60% of the population in Egypt, particularly in villages, rural and urban areas. Let me take your opinion of how this initiative is a manifestation to cooperation between the state bodies, ministries, private sectors, all together with the governmental institutions and followed up by the leadership.
Okay, so this initiative is actually a first step building a person, which is actually one of the most important pillars of achieving sustainability, as what we say, because it's not only in the process of just buildings or so, but it is building the community, and each individual is actually the unit of this community. So when you provide a quality of life for him in terms of honorable and decent life with a respectable way of living, of job, benefits, this is how you build a person, and this is how you build a community, which is going to build your future in this regard. So this initiative was actually very, very important to set this step to act on this ground from this perspective. Because as you know that we have great potentials in our community. You might note that many of the scientists which are actually creating important developments and innovations abroad are actually Egyptians. So if we paid enough attention to this person, to this asset, we are going to achieve this sustainable development on ground here in our nation, in our country. So, of course, this is how President Sisi has paid enough attention to the person, which is, as I just mentioned, it is the first step of building the community as a whole.
Right. Ever since President Abdel Fattah Sisi assumed office, and he has been putting the issue of building capacities or investing in human resources as a priority of dealing with the growth of population and turning it from a challenge or a big challenge to the country to gains on the ground. From your point of view, how do those initiatives work on investing in human resources, in building capacities?
Many of the international goals for developing countries mainly targeted education and teaching in order to provide this background, this powerful background for a community. So this is actually what we are witnessing now, because education is witnessing a boom, and how they actually tailor young minds in this regard. Not only for schools, but also we are seeing for universities and higher education, more opportunities are being being offered. So this is a main goal in this regard. And you know, the Sustainable Development Goals, the International Sustainable Development Goals, are actually promoting this in one way or another.
Right. Dr. Wala Salah, Professor of Human Resources Development, we thank you so much for being with us. Before we move on with our discussion, let me take this report and how we were, where we went through, and how life became in Egypt.
According to the Central Agency for Public Mobilization and Statistics, 29.7% of the population, or 30 million citizens, were living below the poverty line in 2019-2020. Egypt's unemployment rate was 7.2% during the fourth quarter of 2020. Poverty is a condition that tends to renew itself, as poor people and children often remain poor when they grow up, and therefore it is transmitted through generations through malnutrition, the spread of disease, and the lack of education as well as work opportunities. The Decent Life Initiative will establish infrastructure including clean water, sewage, electricity, gas, and communications. According to a spokesperson of the initiative and chair of the Decent Life Foundation's Board of Trustees. In terms of education, the initiative is building 13,000 classrooms, while health services will be enhanced by developing health units, constructing new hospitals, and activating the new universal health insurance system. The initiative also included awareness programs for people in rural areas, training programs, and village-based jobs that empower inhabitants, including female-headed households, and funding for small and medium-sized enterprises. Around 1.4 billion will be allocated to SMEs as part of the initiative, according to Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has directed that priority should be given to industry and locally produced raw materials when it comes to implementing the initiative's projects in order to revive local economies and benefit workers in local companies and factories. President Sisi also linked the launch of the initiative to the launch of the new republic in his speech. This is firmly based on the concept of the modern civilian state that possesses comprehensive capabilities militarily, economically, politically, and socially. President el-Sisi has repeatedly said that the new republic also boosted citizenship, democracy, and stability, sought to achieve peace, stability, and development, and aspired to political development based on the concepts of social justice, dignity, and humanity. In June, the president called on the civil society organizations to take part in the countryside-focused initiative, this in line with a fundraising event under the auspices of Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli that was launched in September 25th to collect donations from Egyptian expatriates in the United States and Canada to support the Decent Life Initiative.
Right, welcome back, and Mrs. Ismail, because I'm running out of time.
Yes.
Where are we, and where we're heading to, particularly that we announced the new republic this year,
Yeah.
or last year.
Yeah, the new republic is it's a great opportunity for everybody to have a nice life, and inshallah with a lot of job opportunities according to the impact of the investment that's carrying on in all the fields. I think that life is going to be easier, and all our dreams are going to be true, inshallah.
And we all hope for our dreams and aspirations for generations to come to be true.
Yeah, we are so proud.
And we are already
Yes.
proud of what happened to Egypt
Yeah.
in 7 years.
Yes, yes.
This is Ismail Aadil, head of the Social Committee of the Arab Union for Sustainable Social Development. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Dear viewers, many thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be another important debate with another colleague. And until tomorrow, it's goodbye.